Of course, the first game, Han War. Let's see how they both do. I don't know about Chumchuck, but Slam is a pretty good player overall. And I don't know about Chumchuck in DM. I know that's pretty cool. So let's start into the first game. Of course, Slam and Chumchuck in the Deathmatch World Cup, the group decider. Both fight for second place to advance into the playoff stage for the Gold and the Silver League. I might explain more after the fact. So, Slam in the south in the blue, and in the upper corner, let's actually do Alt G. We have Chumchuck in the blue in the north, and in red we have Slam in the south, both of course as Huns. And as we can see, Slam already going for the market, which I haven't seen from Slam that much, but it's pretty good strategy in Huns, and seems like he wants to end this game rather quickly. Very nice start from Chumchuck though, I gotta say. He could be built better on this distribution of his villages, but seems like it's okay. But he has a lot more buildings. Of course, when you do the market, your start gets significantly slowed down, so that opens a little window for the non-market player, in this case Chumchuck, to really gain a lot of map and gain map control, and not letting Slam push out his market advantage that much in the early game. And as we can see, what is Slam doing? Slam is going for 8-9 ranges, 4 stables and 6 barracks, so he really wants to push his market advantage, already going for kind of a forward castle on this hill here as well. And Chumchuck, I don't like this, seeing his paladins move out like that. I don't know why he's doing this in that way. I mean, of course he wants to delay Slam's gold mining, but since Slam went for market, these paladins would be much better to have in the front, because now he's just wasting army. And you should never base trade against the marketer, because they can always fall back on the extra gold they got, and the non-marketer can't. So I like Chumchuck's build up a lot. His start is pretty good actually, much better than Slam's at the moment, who is a little bit distracted in the south of course by the paladins, but these paladins are now pretty dead, and I think Slam should be able to push this with his market, but should also be careful not to get pushed back too significantly here by Chumchuck. Of course, also he has this very nice hill here to fall back on, in case it gets kind of dicey. If we look at the gold positions, it's a little bit in favor of Chumchuck at the moment, in my opinion. So he has these 2 golds here, so if he can secure that and hold the middle position as well, it should be his game. And oh, I really like what Chumchuck is doing here. Already trying to secure his forward position here with this castle, and really just deflecting Slam's market here. Slam wasn't able to push it, and normally when you go market, you want to be the one who's pushing. Then you have a little time window until like at max 15 minutes until the economy of the non-market player and gold economy of the non-market player kicks in, and he can push you back. So if you don't manage to kill your opponent, or if you don't manage to do quite a significant damage to your opponent until like minute 15, you're in for dark times. And seems like Chumchuck is really nicely falling back on his defense now, and has really nice setup on all these golds here. All these extra golds, very nicely secured his own gold economy. Let's look at his gold count. It's slowly going up. Sorry about the little mouse fuck up here. It's slowly going up, so I think he should be able to hold this quite well. And I'm quite impressed about Chumchuck's play here. I didn't expect it to be that well executed, I guess. I haven't seen too much of him, but of course he's a very experienced player, a very skilled player, also in RM. And see, like, I think Slam needs to push this now if he wants to win this game. Otherwise it will be very hard for him. But it could be that with the number of paladins he has, plus the rams, he could be able to make a game-ending push. Although his resources are getting very low, and that's the downside of the market. You have to eco earlier as well, so you can have to spend more on villages, or more population space on villages and other resources. So you give up on resources basically for more gold to make a game-ending push in the beginning, or to make a push in the beginning that wins you more than you lose in resources. And it seems like he's able to push Chamchak here quite significantly, although he's not winning much. He's only winning ground at this moment in time. He's not really winning anything in terms of resources. He's not winning any golds. The fight over the golds is here on the side, but against those castles it will be rather hard to really do anything, or to really gain the advantage or the upper hand on this little hill. Also, he's getting raided quite nicely here on this side gold. Nice move here from Chamchak. And I don't really know why Chamchak is even fighting this. He could just gather his army in the back, maybe garrison a few CA in his castle, let the castle shoot at the army. Because Slam seems to be very tunnel visioned at the moment. Only focused on this kind of narrow path here through the front, while he really could push with all of his forces this hill here, and it would be all of Chamchak's economy would be devastated if he really made the push there. But if he's pushing here, he doesn't win anything really, just a few buildings that go down. Okay, now seems like the push from Slam got a little bit to a halt there, and now he's entering the phase where he needs to eco pretty hard to not lose most of his. As you can see, his economy is pretty widespread, pretty spread out already, so he kept up with that quite nicely. And I missed how he kind of took the control of this gold here in the left corner. I kind of missed that. I'm sorry for that. I was too tunnel visioned, I guess. But now should be the phase where Chamchak should be able to push it back. As you can see, his resources looking quite nice. Also, his gold count is looking quite nice. He's making mostly paladins out of his stables, and a lot of hussars as well to raid Slam's economy. It seems like a little bit of a waste though at the moment, running them just to get murdered by halberdiers or by the castle. So we are in for a longer game, I think. This game could take quite long. I think it's 4 to 4 golds that both have taken, or like 3.5 to 4.5 in favor of Chamchak. But the thing is that Slam has this nice hill to fall back on. And it seems that he has a nice number of siege rams as well, so if Chamchak is not careful, he might even get pushed here to death without even noticing. And there's more paladin raiding coming in. This castle will not get denied, it will get up, so these gold miners are safe. Don't have to worry about that. But nice number of rams now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 12, 15 rams now in the mix for Slam. And he's going to push this quite nicely. The trebuchet is wasted, and Chamchak is struggling right now to hold his middle position. He really needs to fall back now behind his castle, let the castle get down, and then engage when he has enough siege rams, because in this way he will just waste all of his CA and rams trickling them in like that. If you look at the villager numbers, it's 120 to 94 villages. Chamchak's economy seems in a much better shape in terms of villages, though his resources are much worse. Effectively because of the KD here, Slam killed a lot more villages than, well, not more population than Chamchak did, and he's still wasting paladins on this goal here. I really don't like it. He's wasting paladins and hussars, so much gold just to kill a few villages. It's really not worth it. Really waste. These paladins could have done so much more in the middle. And now seems like Slam is pushing the center without Chumchuk really uh, being able to do anything about it. And if he loses the CA force, it will be GG. He also doesn't really have food, doesn't really have gold. Slam seems like to be on very healthy resources. He just needs to get this castle down, then it should be over. Because then most of Chumchuk's economy is laying freed for Slam to raid. And he's also in the production of Chumchuk as well. So yeah, I think this should be Slam's game for the 1-0 here. The game didn't quite progress as I have initially thought. Chumchuk very well held on in the beginning, but kind of struggled to maintain his his strength throughout the game, wasting a lot on raiding and going around the map, and there's the GG. Slam takes it 1-0 in this best of 5 series. I have to take a sip of water first now. And now it's Chumchuk's home map. I don't know what it is. Chumchuk. Yeah, I know. I think I have that right? Alright, let's go into game 2. We might see Frank War. Although I would be surprised by that. But Chumchuk seems like a pretty old school player, so he might go for that. I don't know how old school he is in terms of DM, but if he is pretty old school in that regard as well, then we will see Frank War. I would be more excited for some Gold Rush action though, or something along those lines. Would be kind of cool to see. I actually forgot to adjust my scroll speed. I think I will do that in the start of the game. Because it's pretty hard to shift your camera around when the scroll speed is too high from playing. And there goes the spectator countdown. And we are entering game 2 of the DM World Cup, and it is indeed some Gold Rush action. It's target. Okay, let me quickly adjust score speed and we're good to go. But seems like it's Persia Gold Rush. And they started on random map. GG. This is indeed a talk show. And it's your host Clemensor, or Cleminator, how some like to call me. That was the best game I've ever seen in my life. Ever. Pity if you missed it. Your name, your yellow name looks so nice in the on the overlay, Dream Chaser. It was random map instead of deathmatch, that's why. But your yellow name looks so nice on the overlay. So, but now we're entering game 2 of the best of 5 series in between Slam and Chamchuk, and it is a Persian War on Gold Rush. Very nice home map, I'd say. And we have Chamchuk in the north in the blue, and we have Slam in the red in the south, both as Persians of course, and both go for stable starts, which is not that common to see in Persian Rush. Mostly you do like 1 or 2 stables, but both going for 3 stables, which from what I've seen on Gold Rush now may not be the best option here. Some like to go for more of a barrack start or pure barrack start, and some like to go for 1 or 2 stables at max, and it seems like both go for camels actually instead of paladins, which is kind of unusual as well to see. Maybe they're taking more of their RMR approach here and going stables first. Not a single siege workshop up yet. More stables here, 4 stables here for Slam even. He's very late on the castles, very late on the siege workshops. Seems like he doesn't have the most of experience here with Persia on this map. He's taking another barracks as well. Seems like he's going for a quick castle in the middle, the dead center, on this new worked over version of Gold Rush, which has a little bit more of a balanced map, but this time it seems like there's only this one hill on in favor of Slam, and if he gets this one castle up, it should be quite easy for him to hold this position. And 4 stables also for Chamchuk, who is only going for 1 barracks. Now that's unusual. Only 1 barracks in the Persian War is very, very unusual. I haven't seen that yet. But maybe it might work out here for Chamchuk. He also has a siege workshop up now. Not a castle is going up for Slam. No siege workshop yet. 5 barracks. No castle yet. Down. First castle is up for Chamchuk. He's going for the elephants. But seems like Slam has the upper hand and middle slightly, with also the castles up already. It's a very greedy castle, I agree, but it should be... Actually, it should go up quite easily if Chamchuk doesn't come in with his scorpion. Sorry for the hiccup there. Yeah, but quite unusual tactics here from both players. And they will run out of gold quite fast if they're not careful, especially Chamchuk, because he was only on 1 barracks, and other than that mostly on siege and elephants. Nice snipe here with the paladins. That's the use for basically the paladins in Persia War. It's basically raiding, map control, and sniping siege. But as you can see, on Gold Rush it's all about the middle, nothing about the sides. It's all about the dead middle here, and if you can take it, you win basically. And if you can mine the gold that's on it, you win basically. And seems like Slam is slowly but surely getting the upper hand here. Do we have Monastery going? No. No monasteries yet for either player. Chamchuk already out of gold. Does he have a lot of queued up? No. He doesn't have too much queued up, but he's already out of gold. It's quite significant here. He's now adding barracks, which he, in my opinion, should have added earlier. What about Slam? He has a nice, healthy number of military. It seems 54 to 33, but no monasteries yet for either player. Normally you see monasteries much earlier, or they're kind of a duty to do in Persia wars, because you want to convert and heal your elephants while they're fighting. But yeah, basically all the middle golds are now in control for Slam, and Chamchuk really has to figure something out if he really wants to take this game, because Slam is fighting much more cost efficient at the moment as well, I think. Although the Scorpion's doing quite some work here for Chamchuk, and now Slam only with 3 siege workshops now adding Scorpions on his own. But where are the monks? Where are the monks? All these elephants could be converted just by a few monks. Chamchuk now completely out of food already. Does he have farms? No, he doesn't have a single farmer. That's pretty all in. Now he has the first farmer. He's now laying farms, which is quite late because they will kick in later than you make them. Like gold economy and wood economy is kicks in quite instantly, but farmers food economy takes more time to really get into effect. But Chamchuk now has the superior army here in the center. He might even be able to push this back, but another castle now coming up in the middle for Slam. So he might have this game, pretty much. Soon these gold mines for Chamchuk will be mined out, and then it's pretty much GG from there. Nice raiding here from Slam, also coming in with the paladins. On the sides, he maybe could even consider going in here to kill some food economy. And it's 72 to 70 vills, so it's pretty much even on the village account here. And in the military, it's in numbers, it's slight advantage for Slam, but I think the better army composition here is for Chamchuk. He doesn't have halbs at the moment. Slam has halbs, so that's most of his population, and they don't fare that well against scorpions and elephants. But a little bit of a waste here of elephants from Chamchuk. He's basically all of his meat shield is dead now, and he's still not able to mine here. He could try to mine here, but any building would get cut down immediately by these trebuchets in the center. And now siege rams coming in as well, might be able to take down the bombard cannon, or maybe even the scorpion here. Nope, never mind. So this castle might even go down as well. But let's see, what does Chamchuk want to do here about this situation? This goal is now mined out, nearly mined out. This goal is mined out as well, nearly. And as I said before, now he wanted to do a town center here in the middle, but it immediately got destroyed by these trebuchets. By the way, have you seen that Slam is not mining in the middle as well? He has the full control over these golds, but he's not mining any of it. Like none at all. So his golds will run out as well, or have they run out? Nah, nearly. They nearly ran out now. But he's not mining at all in the middle. Seems like it doesn't need to. He has 1k more gold than Chamchuk, and about the same for the other resources. Now the trebuchets get taken down by the bomber cannon, or are they? Nope. The trebuchets are quicker, and 1 for 1 here, and 2 for 1 in total. Trebuchets better than bomber cannon, confirmed. Now raiding stables, as I like to call them. Stables for the sole purpose of producing hussars to raid the economy of the opponent, and this economy is quite exposed. There's no castle, only 2 town centers. A few hussars could totally devastate this farm economy. So now elephants coming in, trying to take out those trebuchets, but for what price? Elephants are expensive, and if you waste them for a few trebuchets, you could be in for bad times. But it seems like Chamchuk actually wants to push this. He seems to be pushing this, but not with a lot of army. Also a nice pack of paladin now coming in, and he will flank this army, the siege from Chamchuk and take out
Thank
all.
thank you, you wonderful
Oh,
man.
thank you for the subscription, Marinto. I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you very much for the subscription. And now the Paladins taking out nearly all of the siege from Chamchuk, and this push not ending well for him. He's getting pushed back, not doing a lot of damage. Also Hussars coming in, but they will get stopped by those camels. Really exposed farming eco for Slam. He should consider making more TCs where his farming economy is, because this is as exposed as it can get. This looks like Spring style in a way, if you ever seen Spring play DM before. So now Slam finally starting to take the goal in the middle, and Chamchuk finally can make a TC in that center of the map. I didn't expect for Chamchuk to hold on for that long. Seems like Milmana wants to cast some expert games after this, so stay around if you want after these DM games. And seems like both concentrating now on raiding each other's economy rather than taking the center. Even though these hills are in favor of Slam, he doesn't really have a spot to mine or to place a TC. He can place a mining camp, but that's not really the ideal way. But he's also protected by these castles, so I don't see why he wouldn't just place a mining camp there. And even from this hill, this town center is in range, so that's quite bad for Chamchuk here. Does Slam have any gold miners at the moment? I don't think so. No, his resources are so low. He has more villages, but no gold miners at all. I think 6 gold miners actually. Where are they? No clue where they are. But they are somewhere, I guess. And now he's bringing in some raiding onto Chamchuk's economy, and this could be quite devastating for Chamchuk, but he's garrisoning his villages in time, still losing a lot of farms in the process, and that will hurt him in the long run. And now a push coming in from Slam as a counter. He seems like he wants to end this game. He's bringing in harassment on the flank, a push in the center, dividing all his forces into pushing Chamchuk here, and he's not going to be able to push it. Heavy camels and the scorpions will push the elephants back quite easily, I have to say. And he has to retreat those trebuchets as well, and I have to repeat myself. Slam is still not mining in the middle, and now is producing now trash only. And Chamchuk should be aware of that, now placing a mining camp far out so it can't be sniped. So he's at least mining something. And I think Chamchuk is aware that Slam is not mining at all in the center and is producing only trash at the moment, and if Slam keeps producing trash and sending into its death by in this way, he will have 0 food in a few minutes. Pretty much. And nice forward castle here from Chamchuk. I like this. Kind of boxing Slam in. A few elephants here in this eco would be nice as well. I know, it's so exposed, it just asks to be raided. Asks to be destroyed. Now, what Slam needs to do is just get on these 68 farmers, get on these gold mines as soon as he can. Otherwise he has no competition here. I guess they're both fighting for gold that they're not using. Quite odd, I guess. Both fighting for gold that they don't want to mine. At least Chamchuk's putting in an effort to mine this gold. Like Slam doesn't give a fuck. And now the last remaining castle for Slam might go down by this one single trebuchet. But so for Chamchuk, but he has another castle here, and there's another trebuchet. 2 trebuchets actually sniping down on this castle, and they're not one is getting taken down by the hussars. But now seems like Chamchuk is taking the middle. It's quite nice to see. This elephant will finally destroy. Nope, denied. Will not destroy this trebuchet. And sooner or later, Slam will also run out of stone. He's still pumping out trash, sending it to its death. and not mining gold. Quite an odd game, I have to say. Slam's RMer approach in this game is really showing, in my opinion. The way he's not making TCs for his farms, only mills, and spreading it out as large as this. Also putting not too much emphasis on gold here. I don't know if that's an RM, could call an RM approach, but I think also with the build up for both players, it's not what you usually would go for. But of course they are playing better than, I guess, 90% of the AC community. And I think this should be Chamchuk's game, because he's now mining gold. And he's constantly popped. It's 200 population to 150 and 50 military to 25, and it's GG. Well played by Chamchuk. And making it a 1-1. And now we will see the home map for Slam, which I guess will be GA Hans. Elo is indeed so HD, I have to agree, Homo erectus. Milmano never ever going out of his HD ways. Rating. I don't know, it's kind of weird. In Woobly, the players tend to say rating, and on HD they tend to say Elo. Game 3 starts in a minute. In a few seconds actually. Everything with a point-based ranking system is Elo. With that is not true. But I think you know that. And I expect to see Hans GA now. Yeah, I know it's named after the mathematician, but not every point rating system is Elo rating system, right? And it is a Hans GA as I expected. Now let's see if Slime is going for the market again. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Let's go to his point of view, and we have, yeah, the market here it is. We have, as player 1 in the south, we have Chamchuk as the Hans, of course, and player 2 is Slam as the Hans as well, and he's going for the early market. And dirty marketer, as I like to call him. And this all, of course, gives a nice little edge in the early game, or right after the early game. And if you look at the map, it's not a bad decision for Slam to go market here. He has all these forward golds. He has this big ass hill in front of his base. And also the map for Chamchuk is not the best. His main gold is hard to mine. His other golds are quite exposed. This hill here is pretty exposed here with this other gold. So a market here could work out very well for Slam in this instance. Very nice start again for Chamchuk. He's going for early ranges this time, which is not that often seen actually. He's going for a lot of ranges. Whoa, this is 11 ranges. Did I see this correctly? 11 ranges, 4 stables and 4 barracks. How does he want to sustain this production without market? Alright, I guess it's another approach, but can be quite suicidal, because the number of buildings really affects your mid-game economy. That's why players don't tend to spam tons of buildings, because it really impacts your economy in the long run, and you have to eco a little bit earlier the more buildings you make, of course. Now Slime is gathering most of his army on this hill in the front, and seems like this time both players are actually quite even in the population, and it will be very hard for Chamchuk to really deflect the market push from Slam now. And he's also doing the CA rating, which I don't like. CA rating has its downsides. It's very vulnerable to castle fire, very vulnerable to TC fire, and doesn't really take damage. Also can't really take down TCs. So only if you have like very exposed farms, it's kind of worth it to raid with a CA, in my opinion. So Chamchuk very nicely has his army spread out, moving around, taking the hills that are important, but he's very late on getting that gold income, and has not made a market as well, so he can't sell anything. Of course, when he does less barracks, he has to worry less about his food economy, so theoretically he could spend more food on paladins when it comes when the gold income kicks in. The thing is though, he doesn't have a gold income yet. Only one gold miner thus far, and if he's trading army now, he will pretty much won't be able to replenish his gold army because he doesn't have gold income. Now Slime is pushing on two sides, and seems like he's a very disadvantaged here in military. He's 130 to 80. He's wasting a lot of army, taking a lot of bad fights, having significantly less military here. He's constantly reducing, but his fights he's taking are not the best. And it's kind of a mirror of the first game, where both players, Chamchuk has a very nice advantage early on, and which should possibly grant him the win on anti-market, because he should come out on top in resources in the at like 15 minutes. But let's see if it's pretty much a copy of the first game. Would be quite interesting if we see that. A lot of CA, of course, for Chamchuk, due to all of these ranges. It's quite nice to see. And if we look at the gold positions, I think it's pretty even for both players. I think they both have 4 golds. Now market added for Chamchuk. Has he sold though? I don't think he did. He sold 100 food. That's not too much. I guess just to make a few CA to get on full pop. He's nearly on full pop though. This hill here is not good for Chamchuk at all. He will lose a lot of CA here if the Slams Paladins come into the mix, but the pathing is not helping Slime here, and there's also siege rams coming in for Chamchuk. So I think Chamchuk could even fight this. If he really takes this, I think Chamchuk could just roll over Slam if he so intended. But there's another front here opening on the other part of the center of this map. Seems like Chamchuk is also winning on this side. So very nice fights here for Chamchuk all across the map. It's 106 to 52 military, so it's double the military than Slam. And the KD 270 versus 200 is yeah, largely in favor of Chamchuk, who is doing more and more CA rating. Has a lot of CA running around the map. He's making very good use of his CA, I gotta admit that. He's all over the map, raiding everywhere, being everywhere, and kind of drawing Slam from his position from this hill here. And I think now he should be able to approach this hill from this side if he so desires. He's not doing so, but he can do it if he wants. Yeah, okay, he wants to protect these trebuchets now. They want to take on these castles, and This CA rating is now getting shut down. While this push in the center is still going on. Population for Slam now looking a little bit better, though in terms of military it's way less. Of course, because he took the market in the beginning, so he has to eco earlier. He has 40 villages more, and he didn't really do the damage he needed to do to really let the market pay off. Actually, he was the one getting pushed, and he now used like 30 villages to repair this castle, which is kind of a panic decision, but it's either live or die at this moment in time. But Jump Truck now has the edge, in my opinion. The only question is, will he be able to really push his advantage now and push this hill? I don't think he will. Now that the second castle is going up and the third is coming its way, I don't think he will be able to push this. And if Slam decides to actually garrison his CA or his army in this castle, this could be even worse, but only 30 military at the moment. So, I don't know. I don't think... it's so hard to call here, to call a decision here, but with 3 castles now raiding down on these rams, I don't think that it would be a good idea to really push the center here. It would be really nice if we could see a rotation here, and that's exactly what Jamchak is doing now. Doing a rotation, cutting off half of Slam's base, and if he rolls in with some siege rams onto this production and onto these farms, getting some paladin raiding in as well, then it could be GG for Slam. Even a rotation on here could be quite nice, but now there are 2 castles already. Seems like the first castle now went down on this middle hill, and there's no military in the center for Slam. There is nothing at all. He hasn't mined his gold yet, and GG call from Slam. Impressive play by Chamtruck, I have to say. Impressive play, impressive army movement, anti-market. I'm a fan. 2-1 for Chamtruck. Didn't think that would work out that well, tactic with the CA, but nice play. So, if Chamchak wins this next game, which will be Celt War on the map pack, then he will be out of the tournament and Chamchak will advance. And we have some quite exciting maps in the map pack actually. We have Prairie, which is basically Arabia without hills and 2 scouts in the start. We have, I think it was, we have Double Green Arabia, of course, which is quite a nice map, quite an exciting map. A very new map actually. We have Gold Rush, we have Green Arabia, we have Baltic, we have Team Islands as well, and Graveyards with like 12 relics I think, and we have Team Islands, which is not exciting at all, and which I dislike quite heavily, and I hope we won't see it, but let's see. Add quote, never do politics on stream. Yeah, Milmano will not be fond of that quote, I think. And we have Celt War on Baltic. GG, yeah, this could be quite. Oh no, it's random up. All right. We have Celt War on Baltic. This could be a long game. Long game. Long, and with that I mean long game. But let's see. I know you do. I know you do. So, it's game 3 in game 4 actually in this best of 5 series in between Slam and Chamchuk. On the map pack Celt War, and it is Gold Rush. We have Chamchuk in blue in the north, and in the south we have Slam in the red, though I don't think. Yeah, and this is Gold Rush, not Baltic, and I'm quite pleased with that. I'm really pleased. And Slam with the 1 stable start, quite standard, and 1 stable start, 2 stable start, 3 stable start. What? Chamchuk. Yeah, 3 stable start for Chamchuk with 2 barracks and a castle coming up. Alright, not really fond of the Siege Workshop, those two. Siege Workshops, those two. I myself have played Gold Rush on Celt War in this tourney as well, against Winchester and Emil. Lost both times. And there are 2 philosophies basically in Celt War. There's the more the RM philosophy, which is very siege onger heavy, very infantry heavy, very heavy infantry heavy. And then there's the more DM approach, which is basically paladins, halberdiers, siege rams, and scorpions. And you don't see too many stables, mostly like 2 stables and then barracks and siege workshops right away as well. So quite early siege workshops here for Chamchuk, and if we look at the map, it's a lot more balanced this time. We actually have 2 opposing hills in the center, so I think we could be in for quite a long game here, because all of these goals can be mined without being in reach of this 1 hill both players have. And of course, as I said before, both of these tactics, of these approaches, have their downsides and their upside, advantages and disadvantages. But seems like both going for the same kind of tactic, going with paladins and halberdiers. And siege workshops now coming up for Slam finally as well. It seems like Chamchuk's going for the DM approach, going with the scorpions, going with the siege ongers as well. And of course, siege ongers a lot more viable, I think, in this kind of situation, this kind of map. First of all with the hills, and first of all with the fight that's going on only in the middle, basically. So Chamchuk is already securing himself this hill here, securing himself these 2 gold piles down from at the bottom of this hill, and nice army counts for both players already. Slight advantages here for Chamchuk. He's a little bit faster here in regards to siege, And seems like Slam only has 2 siege workshops, which is not enough for Celts. You want more siege, you need more siege, you need more siege, Slam. Get the siege going. And is Slam going to push this now? Seems like Slam wants to push this now, but against all these castles and all these sieges will be tough. If Slam is not careful, he might even lose this series and then not advance through the group stage, and Chuck might be able to win this game. There's also a lot of wasted military here for Slam, as you can see on the KD here, 96 to 80. A lot of wasted resources, a lot of wasted units here for Slam. The siege for Chuck doing a lot of work, already a TC going down there on the main gold. And look, let's see if Slam actually decides to mine this gold here. This time he does, but it's getting denied for now. Nice snipe here from Chuck. Not taking down the second villager by 6 HP. Oh well. And this castle is dead. GG castle? No. Maybe? Yes. Okay. GG castle. Down it goes. And Slam with a nice military lead now, 118 to 80. And he seems like he really wants to push this. He really doesn't want this game to go into the longer game, seems. Or into the late game. He wants to push these castles away, he wants to push Chuck away from... And someone hit the bell. Or was this my imagination? I don't know. But now Siege Honor just coming in, trying to snipe all of these trebuchets from Slam, and if he does so, then it's a lot of gold down the drain for a lot of gold down the drain for Slam. And yep, another trebuchet going down, and there's the mass siege launchers, which are quite unavoidable on this map if you fight in the dead center like that. His name is Chuck. Yeah, I thought I'd said that, but if I butcher the name, I'm very sorry for that. It's quite a hard name to pronounce when you try to speak fast or at a more faster pace. And now Chuck, taking out his own trebuchets with a bait here, and that was a close one. Slam doesn't really seem to have an answer against all of these onages from Chuck. The only thing he's doing at the moment is feeding his units to the onages from Chuck. Oh my god, oh lord. And he's not mining the gold in the middle. He's not able to. He has a lot of gold still in the bank because he was not investing too much in siege until this point, but it's getting low, and also his food count is getting low. But his population seems to be quite healthy, but most of it is in military, which gets cut down by the onages. Oh my god, this is so... this just hurts to watch. All the population of Slam is gone in an instant, and he still doesn't have any control over the middle. The siege onagers are just cutting everything down. Nothing here for Slam to do, and as you may have noticed, I'm pretty... yeah, it hurt to see this. I'm not really biased towards Slam, actually. I would find it kind of funny if he actually, if Chuck actually makes the upset here. I don't know if he actually could call an upset, but it seems like he will be able to drop Slam out of the tourney here, which may surprise some. It's kind of surprises me because I said before I've seen him I've seen Slam as the clear favorite in this game, but he's just wasting too many resources, too many units here to the onages of Chuck. And oh, nice castle here from Chuck. In the middle of Slam's economy, Oh no, there's Slam's economy, but part of Slam's economy. And he will raid with World Raiders coming out of that castle, I assume. And Slam's still not mining any gold in the middle. His golds may run out, and GG called. Well played from Chumchuck. 3-1 it is, and we will advance to the playoff stage, which will decide, which is the round of 32, which will then go into the round of 16, which then will decide on whether the players go to the silver stage, or the silver group stage, or the gold group stage. The gold one being the one for the winning in the round of 16, and the silver league for the ones losing in the round of 16. And we will also see the top 8 who have not played yet, playing in the playoff. And stay tuned for the rated expert games that Wilmano has offered. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more exciting games of the World Cup. See ya.